Well, hello there. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I have been seeing this trend all over like TikTok and also YouTube, and it's this whole trend of like the 10 books I want to read before the end of the year, right? The 10 before the end, basically. And I thought, well, that would be a cool thing to do. But there's a caveat because my brain is not normal. Yeah, my brain is normal. It's a little bit OCD-ish. Okay, I have a lot of perfectionism because of my ADHD, and that comes with a little bit of OCD that kicks in these specific moments where if I decide that I'm going to read these 10 books before the end, I have to read them before the end. I don't think you understand, but if it's like the 31st of December and I still have one book missing, I will be reading that book because I need to finish it before the end of the year. Otherwise, it's not a perfect pattern and it's not perfect and it needs to be perfect. It's just the way my brain works, and I have to try and work around it for my benefit instead of letting it affect me negatively. I need to turn it around into something positive. So I did this, but I have like so many series I want to read so bad, and they're very long ones, like four or five, six books sometimes. And I decided to like do this, but mainly focus on standalones or standalones are the beginning of a series, but the second one hasn't come out yet. You know what I mean? Incomplete series, perfect. I think the biggest one here is like three books, I think. I'm not even sure if the third one is out yet. I'm gonna check while we're doing this video, but yeah. So that's how I tried to simplify this as much as possible. Okay, cool. And so before we go into this video, don't forget to fucking follow me, okay? And like the fucking video, okay? We're a bit hyper today. We're a bit hyper today because we did not take our ADHD meds today. So we're a bit hyper today, and you are going to fucking follow and subscribe and do all of those shits. And you can also check me out on TikTok, which is where I'm most active if you want to see me every fucking day because I am amazing. Why wouldn't you? Do that now, okay? Great. Let's jump into the 10 books I want to read before the end of the year. The 10 before the end. As per usual, I have my handy dandy iPad here so we can read the blurb together and I can tell you what these are about, okay? So you're not going in blind. And also I can refresh my mind and my memory on what this is about. So first we have Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. Okay, this one I've been seeing everywhere. Let me read you the blurb. A woman who wields magic tarot cards lands herself in a false engagement with the headmaster of a mysterious academy in this first installment of an enthralling fantasy romance series from the best-selling author of A Deal with the Elf King. Clara Graysworth has survived the underworld of Eclipse City through thievery, luck, and a whole lot of illegal magic. After a job gone awry, Clara is sentenced to a lifetime in prison for inking tarot cards, a rare power reserved for practitioners at the elite Arcana Academy. Just when it seems her luck has run dry, the Academy's enigmatic headmaster, Prince Kalis, offers her an escape for a price. Kalis believes that Clara is the perfect tool to help him steal a tarot card from the king and use it to recreate an all-powerful card long lost to time. In order to conceal her identity and keep her close, Kalis brings Clara to Arcana Academy, introducing her as the newest first-year student and his pride-to-be. Thrust into a world of arcane magic and royal intrigue, where one misstep will send her back to prison or worse, Clara finds that the prince she swore to hate may not be what he seems, but can she risk giving him power over the world and her heart, or will she take it for herself? I know. It's a regular adult romancy, smutty romancy that we all know and love. And obviously there are tropes that we know in an academy setting. Obviously that is great. I really like the added tarot cards. And honestly, it's been all over the place and I have FOMO, so I want to read it and I'm going to. So that is why that is the first book in this like 10 to 10. I'm really excited to read this. Also has 4-star ratings. Next up we have The Moonlight Market by Joanne Harris. And I'm going to be really honest, this is a me book. I have not seen this anywhere online, okay, but this is a me book. So the reason I say this is because one, I saw this book at the grocery store. They have this beautiful edition in the Portuguese version that is like very yellow, and the sprayed edge is also yellow, I think with blue butterflies if I'm not mistaken. It's beautiful, and I was like, oh my god, that's so interesting. I read the blurb, really liked it, but I knew I couldn't read this type of book in Portuguese. I needed to read it in English. So I was just like, I'm gonna add this to my TBR, added it, and then I realized this is by Joanne Harris, which is an author from a book series I absolutely love, which is the second reason why this is a me book. Rune Marks. That's the title in English, Rune Marks. And I loved that series so much when I was growing up. I loved Loki in those books. He was so funny, hilarious, one of my favorite gods in those books. I just really liked her way of telling the story. Everything was really cool. I really like her. And I haven't read a book from her in such a long time. I was like, this is something I have to read. Deep in the heart of London, a photographer walks the streets and captures whatever catches his eye. An old man drinking coffee, a beautiful woman sipping champagne in St. Pancras Station, a cloud of moths disturbed taking flight across the sky. But with each photo, he captures something unseen by the eye, and as each negative develops, revealing a person he hadn't met, a danger he hadn't noticed, and a world he hadn't seen, he is drawn further into a hidden war, one which he has been drawn into many times before, and every time had his memories of the truth and of the woman he loves stolen from him. As Tom pieces fragments of the truth together, he realizes he must weave through the war and fight his own, both for the woman he loves and for himself. Like, I'm really excited for this book. This is another book I also saw on the shelves in the bookstore in Portugal. Again, Portuguese version. When it comes to fantasy, I can't do Portuguese anymore, and I vowed to try this and read it because it felt so interesting. And I've seen reviews online, just a few, and everyone loves it. So I'm really excited. So this book is called The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. Okay, it's beautiful. It has a beautiful phoenix on the cover. I'm obsessed with this cover. Okay, let me read you the blurb. Fear of magic plagues war-torn Enwyn, again with the fancy names. Halflings like Rhea Fleetwood are killed on sight, but Rhea's execution is interrupted by an unexpected savior, one far more terrifying than her would-be killers, the mysterious and mercenary Commander Scythe. In the clutches of this new enemy, Rhea finds herself fighting for her life in the barren reaches of the Northlands. Yet the farther she gets from home, the more she learns that nothing is as it seems. Not her fearsome captor, not the blight that ravages her dying realm, not even herself. For Rhea is no ordinary halfling. The strange birthmark on her chest and the wind she instinctively calls forth means she is a remnant, one of 4 souls scattered across Enwyn, fated to restore the balance of magic, or die trying. But mastering the power inside her is only the beginning. Desire for the commander, a man she can never trust, a man with plans of his own, burns just as fiercely as the tempests beating against her ribcage for release. Rhea must choose, smother the flames or let them consume her. Guys, come on, come on. I think you can understand why I'm so excited, right? I think you can understand. Also, it's adult, so I'm hoping it has some kind of like smut. But if it doesn't, that's fine. It's not a requirement, okay? But I do feel like this would be one of those books that would have a bit more if it had, intimacy to that level. But also doesn't have to be like express smut, but just have a little bit more. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm so excited for this. Next up, we have The Night and the Moth. And yes, it's been all over the place, and that is why it's added to this, because I'm having a little bit of FOMO, to be honest, but also because I'm very curious. I've also seen fan art, really, really cool fan art. And the fan art is feeding me. I will admit the fan art is feeding me. And I'm also curious about like the concept of it. So yeah, if you don't know what it is, I'm going to read the blurb just so we're on the same page. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom's windswept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners neared the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. Rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome, the knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions, but when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in fighting them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. I know. I know. I know. It's interesting. I know. I know. So I'm really curious. Also, like the reviews have been raving about this. It happens to me so many times where I fall for like the book talk hype. Okay, I don't want that to happen. I don't. I really don't. But this one, like a lot of like trusted voices on book talk have said that it's good. I know it's not foolproof. I understand that we are all different. We all have different tastes. It's fine. But it's enough for me to be like, okay, I'm hopeful that this will be good. It has everything it needs to be like a really good book. Another one, it is Shield of Sparrows. Yeah. I haven't read it yet. I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Okay, let me read you the blurb. The gods sent monsters to 5 kingdoms to remind mortals must kneel. I've spent my life kneeling to their will and to my father's. As a princess, my only duty is to wear the crown and obey the king. I was never meant to rule, never meant to fight, and I was never supposed to be the daughter who sealed an ancient treaty with her own blood. But that changed the fateful day I stepped into my father's throne room. The day a legendary monster hunter sailed to our shores. The day a prince ruined my life. Now I'm crossing treacherous lands beside a warrior who despises me as much as I despise him, bound to a future I didn't choose and a husband I barely know. Everyone wants me to be something I'm not, a queen, a spy, a sacrifice. But what if I refuse the role chosen for me? What if I made my own rules? What if there's power in being underestimated? And what if for the first time I reach for it? Honestly, I like the sassiness. I like the sassiness. And I'm gonna be honest, I this is the first time I'm reading what this book is about. yet it was on my TBR due to the hype. Yes. Again, because certain creators I follow really liked it and I trust their judgment, and I know that most often than not, like, they match my vibe and my style too. So, but the sassiness in this woman, okay, it's giving, and I'm curious. I do want to see, because I can see it's from a series. Okay, the second one is expected in 2026. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or a trilogy. I don't care to know right now. It doesn't matter, because this is a challenge and I'll figure it out once I read it. But I'm really excited for this one. Yeah, another one that I've been really excited, and I've been wanting to read it for a really long time, and to be honest, I was almost, like, I was this close to reading it earlier this year, but I've been really excited to read Anathema. Yes, Anathema. I've been really excited to it. And the second book in the series already came out this year, and it's Eldritch. It's actually very recent that it came out. I know it was rather recently, at like past few months. So I'm really excited to read this one. And this one, again, it's one of the few that are like, it's actually a series, but like, it's 2 books. Come on, it's fine. Okay, so let me read you what Anathema is, okay? And mind you, it's from the same author as Nocticadia. That's why, like, I was in between both of them, but I ended up choosing Nocticadia at the time. Okay, only the banished know what lies beyond the woods. There are whispers about what lurks in Witch Nell, the forest where sinners go to die. The villagers call it the Eating Woods, because what's taken is never given back. Only those who've lost their senses would dare to go near it, or the banished. Maven Bronwick knows better than to breach the misty labyrinth of trees, but a tragic turn of events compels her beyond the archway of bones to a boundary no mortal has crossed before, one that cloaks a dark and fantastical world that's as dangerous as it is alluring. It's there that he dwells, the cursed lord of Eidolon, the one tasked to keep her hidden from the magehood that seeks to crucify her in the name of an arcane prophecy. Zavander Rydane, known to his prey as the Scorpion, is the coldest, most calculated assassin in all of Etheria, and he'd sooner toss his feisty ward to a pack of vicious fire drakes than keep her safe. If only he could. Maven's blood is the key to breaking his despised curse and vanquishing the slumbering evil in Witch Nell. Unfortunately for Lord Rydan, fate has other plans for the irresistible little enchantress, and his growing obsession with her threatens to destroy everything, including himself. Come on, who doesn't want a little dark gothic fantasy with a little bit of romance and hopefully some smuttiness, okay? Also, after Nocticadia, like, I trust this author. I trust this author. The story, the plot, the world, the characters, it's really well done. Like, I feel like she writes really well developed plots and stories. I feel like this author, Carrie, she does it very well done, and I really liked it in Nocticadia, so I'm really curious to see what she brings in this series. So very excited for this one. Next up, we have one that, oh my god, it's been in my TBR for so long. So fucking long. It's ridiculous. And it's Heavenly Bodies. Yeah. It's been in my TBR so long now. Like, I don't think I'll understand. And it is technically a trilogy, but I don't think the third book has come out yet. Oh no, the second one hasn't come out yet either. What? Lies. You're lying to me. I'm pretty sure this one came out already. Oh, the second one is coming out this month on the 27th. So the timing is actually pretty cool. That being said, let me read you the blurb for the first one, okay? You know the most dangerous kind of villain? A woman with nothing left to lose. In a world ruled by the cruel and merciless stars, Ilara has been cursed by fate. A prophecy promises she will fall for a star, but that it will cost them both. So when Ariete, star of wrath, war, and chaos, descends to wreak havoc on Ilara's kingdom, she flees her home, the kingdom of night, for the neighboring Helios, kingdom of light, and strides straight into the arms of an enemy prince. Fearing that Ariete might turn his sights to Helios next, Prince Lorenzo is forced to train Ilara as a weapon, one worthy of battling against the tyrannical reign of the stars. But there are shadows even within the kingdom of light, and they threaten to reveal the darkness in Lorenzo's past and the ancient magic that slumbers in Ilara's veins. And with it all comes an undeniable star-crossed pull between Ilara and Lorenzo that neither can seem to resist. I feel like the concept of like stars and heaven and all of like all of this is very interesting to me, and I'm gonna be honest, this is one of those books that I am judging by the cover, because the cover just interests me and it's like, whoa, I am pulled into this a lot, right? So I feel like it's very like horoscopy, but not with the horoscope, which could also be, but it's not exactly our horoscope. So I just found this very interesting, and it's also been everywhere on TikTok, so I'm really excited. Again, it's another romancy, like typical romancy. Okay, I understand, but I'm still very interested in it. So and it's been in my TBR for so long. I need to read it. Like, again, this is another book that I was so close to reading earlier this year. I just didn't get around to it. I don't know why. So next up, we have The Games Gods Play. And this book I actually saw at the grocery store, at the bookshelves in the grocery store. And the sprayed edges were also immaculate, okay? And it's chunky. It's a chunky book. I love chunky books. And I saw like a lot of reviews online, like on Goodreads. They're like, this is such a good book, whatever. And I don't think I saw a lot of videos, but I saw a lot of reviews on Goodreads. And I didn't even know this, but I'm seeing it right now. It's actually a Goodreads Choice Award. Yeah, it's a nominee for Reader's Favorite Romance of 2024. So I feel like that's a good sign, and I feel like that's gonna be a really cool, like, concept. Also, like, it's Norse mythology inspired, if I'm not mistaken, or Greek mythology. It is Greek mythology. Okay, I thought it was Norse. Okay. But it's Greek mythology. So let me read you the blurb, okay? The gods love to toy with us mere mortals, and every 100 years we let them. I have never been favored by the gods, far from it, thanks to Zeus. Living as a cursed office clerk for the Order of Thieves, I just keep my head down and hope the capricious beings who ruled from Olympus won't notice me. Not an easy feat, given San Francisco is Zeus' patron city, but I make do. I survive. Until the night I tangle with a different god. The worst god. Hades! Come on, we love Hades. For the first time ever, the ruthless mercurial king of the underworld has entered the crucible, the deadly contest the gods hold to determine a new ruler to sit on the throne of Olympus. But instead of fighting their own battles, the gods name mortals to compete in their stead. I think we know where this is going. So why in the underworld did Hades choose me, a sarcastic nobody with a curse on her shoulders, as his champion? And why does my heart trip every time he says I'm his? Come on. We love Hades. Like, come on. We love his fiery blue hair. Come on. I don't know if I'm a pawn, bait, or something else entirely to this dangerous, tempting god. How can I, when he has more secrets than stars in the sky? Because Hades is playing by his own rules, and death will win at any cost. Tell me it's not interesting. The fact that it's a romance scene with Hades just added to the plot. Just added to the plot, and I'm in it. I'm jumping in it, okay? I love it. And it's not Persephone. I hope it's not fucking Persephone. I will tell you that. I hope this girl isn't named Persephone. Okay, her name is not Persephone. That's good. It's not that I don't like the whole Persephone and Hades thing, but like, let's get something new, you know? And I like the fact that it's more like urban fantasy, like aka nowadays fantasy, but with a character that is not part of the mythology. So have like a brand new character just added to it. I feel like that's interesting. Because again, we've seen so many Persephone and Hades, and oh, I get it. Like they're the one true couple, okay? But yeah, like something different for once in a while, okay? That being said, we're continuing on the trend of books that are hyped everywhere, and we have A Forbidden Alchemy. Yes, I'm gonna be honest, okay? I saw the cover and it interests me. It's purple and pinkish and blue. It has forbidden and alchemy on the title. It has a magic potion bottle, okay? Like, come on. How can a girl resist these things, okay? Ooh, the second book is expected publication in 2026, and there's a third book. Okay, so it's going to be a full-on trilogy. That's cool. Okay, Nina Harrow and Patrick Coulson are 12 years old when they are whisked away from the shadows of their disenfranchised mining towns to dazzling Bellavere City to discover their magical potential. Those who pass Bellavere's test will become artisans, wielders of powerful elemental magic destined to fulfill the city's grand ambitions. For Nina, the artisan school symbolizes a dream and an escape from her harsh reality, while Patrick yearns to return to his craftsman family, whose extraordinary physical strength serves the ideum mines keeping the city alive. And then they uncover a devastating truth. Artisans aren't born, they're chosen. They part ways on very different paths, leaving them to carry the burden of the secret alone. In the years that follow, a craftsman revolution ignites, thrusting Nina and Patrick into opposing factions of a brewing war. Now an elite artisan with a very rare talent for charming earth, Nina has turned her back on the fight, haunted by the loss of her found family, but fate intervenes when she is captured by Patrick's rebel group. Despite the years in conflict that separates them, Patrick hasn't forgotten Nina. He desperately seeks her help for a mission that could shift the tides against Bellavere City. Reluctantly, she agrees, battling the sparks flying between them. But when Nina's first love reappears, asking her to betray Patrick for the sake of the artisans, Nina faces an impossible choice that could alter the fate of their world. I find this very interesting because it has depth. And I'm going to be honest, I had a gist of what this was about, but I really hadn't like looked into the blurb that much. But I feel like this has so much depth just in the blurb alone. You can see that the story has depth. And if the book matches this blurb, I feel like it will be a really, really good book. And I feel like blurbs nowadays, they either fail to like really show you what the book is about, like they fail the book miserably, or they overpromise. I do hope this is not an overpromise situation, but I've been very, very curious about this book. And again, I was trying to stay within like a like easy series, like maybe a one book that the series hasn't come out yet. So this was one of the ones I was like, okay, I've been looking at this book in my TBR for a real long time now, and it's just been sparking my want to read it. And I feel like it has the potential to be a very, very good in-depth book. Lastly, we have a sci-fi. Okay, because we need to break a bit of the romantic kick. Okay, we have a little sci-fi, and I feel like this one's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, so the last one is Heaven Breaker by Sarah Wolf, and I have really a really good feeling about this book. Let me check because I don't know. Okay, there's gonna be a second one, but it's not out yet. Bravery isn't what you do, it's what you endure. The Duke of the powerful house, Hauteclair, is the first to die, with my dagger in his back. He didn't see it coming, didn't anticipate the bastard daughter who was supposed to die with her mother on his order. He should have left us with the rest of the station starving commoner rubbish. Now there's nothing left, just icy white rage and a need to make House Hauteclair pay every damn one of them. Even if it means riding Heavenbreaker, one of the few enormous machines left over from the war, and jousting against the fiercest nobles in the system. Each win means another one of my enemies dies, and here in the cold terror of space, the machine and I move as one, intent on destroying each adversary, even if it's someone I care about, even if it's someone I'm falling for. Because there's something in the machine with me, something horrifying, something more. And it won't be stopped. Isn't that so cool? Isn't that so interesting? Because here's the thing, when I was first looking at this book, I remember reading it and be like, wait, space? Wait, machine? Wait, space? Wait, this is a fight in space? Cool. Awesome. Sci-fi, yes, 100%. So I'm very interested in this one. I do like sci-fi, and I haven't been reading enough sci-fi recently. So yeah, those are all 10 of the books I will be reading before the end of the year. And I think I'm going to be able to do it because here's the thing. Like I said earlier, this is not a hopefuls list. Okay, it's not. It's not. It's like I'm setting myself a challenge. And my brain won't rest until that challenge is done. So I know for a fact I'm going to read every single one of these books by the end of the year. I know. Because even if it's the last thing I read this year, it's going to be these 10 books. I guarantee you it's going to. So, and if you've read any of these books, leave a comment down below on something I will only understand after I finish the book, so I can come back to these comments and chit chat with you. Leave me there something there if you've made it all the way through to the end of the video. Cool. Great. That's the deal. Cool. So I hope you have a great rest of your week and keep reading. Okay. Have fun reading. Enjoy your reading. And I'll see you guys next week for another video. Bye.